We are back. Welcome back. This is episode number two. I'm
Two.
excited for it
Same.
because it's so easy to just not do it again. Just be like, fuck it, I'll do it next week. But I'm so glad we're back. So welcome back, everyone. Again, I am the Peacemaker, along with Mr. Eddie Flores. We welcome you. How are you, man? How you doing?
Real good, man. Shoo, just chilling, just enjoying this nice night with no kiddos right now. They're knocked out, so that's awesome.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everyone. I know today's January 20th, so whenever you're watching it, I know today was the inauguration day. And did you watch it by chance?
Dude, I saw a piece of it on the news and that looked sad as heck. Everyone was wearing masks. They're all like falling asleep while they're doing speeches. It was pretty sad, dude. It was a weird inauguration for sure. How
I,
about you?
I didn't get to watch it, but I was just hearing from my brother that it costs like millions of dollars, and I'm just like, wow, that's kind of crazy because it's funny how they could spend money but not give every. We get $600.
Big smack to the face.
Woo! I get that new camera now that I've been wanting. I want that new Sony.
I
So
know. 600.
Um, I'm actually really excited because today I'm a big UFC fan, and there was fights this morning, which are pretty cool. A little change of pace, but what I'm really excited about is the fights on Saturday. So I'm sure a lot of people know who Conor McGregor is, and he's gonna be fighting this weekend. So I'm excited to watch that. Are you?
Who's
Are
he
you?
fighting?
Do you
Who's he
follow?
fighting?
Do you follow?
Not so much, but who's he fighting?
Okay.
I know who he is.
I think a lot of people know who he is. He's fighting a guy named Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier.
He's some dude from Louisiana. And
Okay.
I'm like stoked for it, man. It's like one of those things I look forward to when I'm not shooting anything. It's like
Yeah.
they're usually on Saturdays, so if I don't have any gigs or any work or anything like that, I'm definitely stoked to watch it.
Who's gonna win?
That's a tough one, dude. That is a tough one because I feel like McGregor picks his fights like intelligently, so I don't think he'll fight him unless he thinks he can beat him. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, I think he's gonna win. I just don't. I'm rooting for the other guy. I'm rooting for Poirier. He's like a good dude all around, like like all American, good guy. You know what I mean? Like
Got it.
that's the dude I'm going for. So,
Damn.
do I think he's gonna win? I don't know. It's tough. The odds are against him. Trust me.
I
The odds are
hope
against
it's not like that Aldo fight where he got pummeled in like 2 seconds. Bah! I remember
No,
seeing
dude, I'll
that
be
one.
so mad. I'll be so mad. Ugh. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll make another podcast and see what happens next week.
Damn.
Um, but with that, I mean, those are like hobbies I like to do. Is there any hobbies you're into besides the things I just said?
So before parenthood, I had two really cool hobbies. It was skating and paintballing. And skating was super dope. Used to jump over stairs, go crazy, hard flips, kick flips. So not vert, but definitely street, which was really fun. So I sprained my wrists, my ankles, didn't break anything, but it was always fun. I did that when I was younger, stopped more so when I was in college,
Yeah.
only because, you know, you start getting older, you get a job and you're like, oh, and I started shooting weddings and I was like, I can't get hurt and, show up there. So you just get more responsible. But a good drug that I found was paintball because with that one, it's hard to get really injured. Like, especially if you play towards the middle or back, you don't
Yeah.
have to dive like those crazy kids. And that's the hobby that I picked up in transition to going into college was paintballing. So those two were very extreme and it was really awesome. And I wish I was good at photography and video at that time because I would have definitely documented a lot more
Yeah.
versus one or two pictures that I got from
Yeah.
somebody else.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I do. That's a good little tip right now. Always bring your camera and always be shooting because those. Like, I always regret not like, oh, I should have brought my camera. Like when I was traveling around different countries, like I was like, I told myself I'd shoot and I didn't, and now the little stuff I shoot, they're like gold, dude. Like I wish I shot more. So to me, that's a quick tip to the listeners right now. Always be shooting. Always. Like
Oh, dude, I'll play off of that.
ABS.
I'll
ABS.
play off that for
Yeah.
sure. So to play off of that, I would say don't be don't be a weenie. What do I mean by don't be a weenie? Most people just want to carry this as their weight, just like a little smartphone in their pocket.
Yeah.
And I was always a person who would take my DSLR everywhere. I had a Rebel XSI, and I was that annoying cousin that took the camera everywhere, and I practiced, and that's how I got good.
Yeah.
But those pictures, like you were talking about, you cannot get iPhone quality, Droid quality as good as a DSLR. I'm sorry, it's getting close, but
Yeah.
it's not there yet.
Did
It's
you use,
not there yet.
did you use a pop-up flash?
Oh yeah, I use pop-up flash, and it sounds sick. I remember the pop-up flash. It goes
Uh,
like a machine gun. It goes.
I
It's
know.
so sick. Yeah, but just take it everywhere. Like, to play off of what you said, is take your camera everywhere and take the extra weight. It is worth it, because those photos that you're gonna get, especially when you go on crazy hikes or somewhere further, it's super dope to just get that insane quality. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's I'm glad you mentioned that to the viewers so
That's
they
something
can.
I'm working on for 2021. I used to carry it all the time, then I got lazy and just use my phone. I don't even use my phone though. It's like I'm getting lazier with it. So tip for who's listening and for me as well. I'm definitely gonna take that to heart.
How do you fight that? How do you fight that? Why do you think we get lazy as a society? Because I think it's a society thing for sure that we are all just shooting on smartphones.
I think it's just easier. You know, you're carrying your smartphone in your pocket and just easy to carry. You know, they're getting a little. You know, phones are getting better, so it's like you can shoot wide, you can shoot telephoto. It's not the same thing, but like it's just easy to carry a phone. You know what I mean? And I've seen some good books with just like iPhone photography. They're like legit good photos, but that to me that takes a long time. You have to hone your skill, and even if you're doing like iPhone photography. But to me, it's better. Like, say if you're a newbie or a beginner and you bring your camera, you'll just get used to your camera. You don't have to look at it. You have to look down like, hey, let me switch. You know, let me switch the dials. You just know how to do it without even thinking. So I
Yeah.
always say just bring it with you, and then you get to be in different environments too. So wherever you take it, like maybe you're shooting at night, maybe it's an early morning, maybe it's somewhere you've never been, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's a good tip.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Let me,
Definitely.
let me go back to the skating thing. Would you try skating now for fun, or you
For
think
some money? If someone wanted to play skate for some money, I'd be down, like, just to make it like a fun YouTube video or something, like
yeah?
old man versus professional young skater, and see how bad I get my ass kicked. That'd
What
be fun. I would like to make content out of it, not just to do it for fun though. Like, I want to do something where there's a point to it, whether that's, get the channel some views,
yeah,
or if it's just, I would gladly teach my son. If my son, right now he's 4, if
yeah,
he gets older and wants to learn, that's when I'll get back on a board. But just for right now, I'm not gonna risk it.
yeah, yeah.
But for money, hell yeah, let's go. Let's go. I'll try a
Yeah.
hard flip again.
You always have to make money. That's the tricky part. Is like, oh well, what should I do to make money? One of my hobbies. I like to mountain bike. So mountain biking, it's like so and so. It's kind of expensive depending on the kind of bike you get. You know, you don't want a crappy bike, but you can get decent ones.
Yeah.
And then wherever you drive to, and it's tough for me because I like doing downhill mountain biking. So you're risking like crashing and like hurting your hand or hurting your elbow or your knee or foot, and that would stop me from working.
Yeah.
But I always feel like one feeds the other. Like if I find passion with like wherever I'm mountain biking, like I get ideas. Like I get ideas while I'm mountain biking, or when I'm done, like, oh, I should do this. Isn't that weird to you? Like you could do something completely different than photo or video, but then you get ideas for it. Like sometimes just driving that happens. Does that happen to you?
Oh, dude, all the time. And that's what I tell people. If you're getting stuck, you need to get the fuck out, dude, straight up. Like, if you're just on your computer all day, there's no creativity that's going to happen to you. I promise you. It's when you're taking a bite in your sandwich, when you're walking outside in the park. It's when you're riding your mountain bike down the hill, bolting, and when you're done and that adrenaline's down. It's when you're meditating too, dude. Like, I don't know if you meditate. I'm starting to try it this year. And that's where ideas flow too, dude. It's crazy. And just a fun fact for viewers, because I think a lot of people get meditation all wrong, dude. Because everyone's like, oh yeah, it's just like silencing your mind and just pure focus. And nah, dude, it's actually not. All it is being aware. So if you suck at meditating, you literally can say this in your head, damn, I suck at meditating. But just observing that thought and just letting it be is kind of the essence of meditating, is just observing, being aware. So just remember that being aware opens up your mind and creativity a lot. And when you're out bombing a hill, or after I'm done paintballing, your body's kind of in a different state where you're aware because you're using your muscles. So
Yeah,
yeah, dude, that's why it flows. And dude, I'm so glad you said that because I think that's gonna be an awesome tip for people is get away from the screen. Go do some shit, go hike, go play, and let that creative juice flow, man. So thank you for sharing that. That's
yeah,
dope.
for sure. I definitely recommend that. Whatever it is, you know, if you do running, sometimes I do running in the morning. And that's the best. Or mountain biking, whatever your pleasure is. I'd suggest just get out, especially now during COVID. It's like get
Oh,
out
for
of the house and go do something. You know, go ride skateboards, go mountain bike. That's definitely a big thing. And take a step back from your photo ideas. I'm sure they'll come back even better.
for
So,
sure.
speaking of photo stuff, I was doing a little research because I'm getting a little kind of wanting to get some new gear.
Ah, the gear itch.
The gear is. I do have it. I do have it. I've been working with my older gear, and I'm just like, I like I'm liking this new stuff that's coming out. I don't,
That's
hey,
awesome.
so to whoever's listening, I typically use Canon equipment, but I've been jumping to Sony. It'd be just because I like the overall aesthetic of Sony. I'm not sure what it is, but I think you'll agree with me, right? Like, there's something about using your Sony cameras
Oh,
for
dude,
for most
yeah.
of your work, right?
Yeah, I agree 1,000%, dude. Those things are light. I'm used to shooting a chunky 6D Mark II. I've also played with the 5D Mark IV, like all those fat chunky ones, and that mirrorless body life. Dang, as an older man, I am not gonna lie, I'm loving that, dude. Not to
There's
carry all
something
that weight.
about
It's
it,
sick.
right? There's
Oh
dope
yeah,
about it. So,
yeah, yeah.
what do you think? All right, so this article I was reading was saying that have you ever used the 7D or the 7D Mark II from Canon?
Is that the really fast sports one? Is it a
It's
crop
like
sensor?
it's a crop sensor for sports photography or like bird
Yeah, I
watching.
had one, dude. I
Yeah.
actually had one and I sold it.
Did you? Which one?
Yeah, I
Mark
sold
II?
it because I wasn't using that firepower, man. That was crazy.
What were you using? 7D or the Mark II?
7D Mark II, the crop one, the
Oh
smaller one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. I still have it. I have it.
I sold mine, dude. I needed some money, doc.
I saw some sports with it. I shot some sports with it, and I like it, but it does lack a little bit on the full frame. I mean, you do need full frame when you're shooting dark sports, but
Yeah.
it has it has a spot in my heart. So anyway, I was researching. It says it's coming out with the 7D Mark III,
Uh-oh.
and I'm like, should I get that? As a 32.5 megapixel sensor, and now finally it's doing 4K recording. So
Oh, welcome to the game,
I
man.
mean, they finally made it dead last, but
They got you.
they're crawling through the finish line. I don't know, man. Like I think I'm not sure what the pricing is, but if it's over like 2 grand, I don't think I'd pick it up. That's too much for me. I'm
Would
assuming
you get an A7 III instead for that? Because I think you
I
could grab
would.
one of those for
I
that.
would rather get A7 III for sure. That's so much better.
Yeah. The
It just
colors, woo, the
it just
4K. It's
uh,
ridiculous.
what do you well we're talking about cameras, but what do you think is most important? Do you think lenses, cameras, SD card? What do you think is the most important?
Okay, so out of all the gear, like everything, like even a reflector and umbrella.
Yeah, what do you think is like the most important thing?
Okay,
Or no, let's do this. Let's do this. The top three important things.
top three. Oh, okay, that makes it a lot better, dude.
Easier, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because I would say you need a flash for sure. Because most people shoot indoors. I like having a hot shoe flash because, dude, that's like having a little pocket in your sun when you're indoors. And that's where smartphones, man, they kind of whoop some DSLR's asses, like some of the older ones. Your smartphone's better indoors, but as soon as you get a flash, point it behind you, your DSLR starts whooping that ass, dude. And it's
Yeah.
cool because you can point it anywhere. So I would say that's one of my top ones, only because I wouldn't rank the lens. Like I would love to say a lens because lenses are important, but the kit one that you get is decent. It's not bad. I've taken some good pictures with it. You just got to know what you're doing with the stuff, man. So it ain't the size, it's how you use it. Know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree. I agree. We definitely can. I can attest to that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So that's your number one.
So yeah, number one would be the flash. Like you need to get an external flash so you can control it, move it. My number two would be then the lens. Then the lens, because the body, yeah, it has limitations. Like it gets grainier, it can't shoot fast. Body's last because most of us are shooting portraits. Most of us. So we don't have to shoot like NFL players or soccer players. I'm sorry, when you're just getting started, you ain't doing that. So you can get away with an old Canon that goes 3 frames a second. Yeah, it could be slow as hell, but the lens, dude, whatever's in front of it,
That's
you
true.
get a 2.8 lens, a 50 mil 1.8 lens, dude, you're in business now. So that would be my number two. And number three, honestly, this one's gonna sound weird as hell, but I would say a bag, a good bag,
A
like
bag.
just so you could start building a kit. Cause dude, if you just take that shit like on straps, it's gonna hurt your neck. And then once you start getting new gear and you can't build out a new kit, it's kind of whack, dude. So bags are underrated, man. They're really underrated. That's what I would say.
Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, fuck.
He's all fuck.
I don't know. I don't know. So
What would be your number one? What's your number one?
to me, the number one is probably the camera, obviously.
Okay.
But it's really weird because I
But
don't
why the camera? Expand on that. Like what I said about the light.
well,
Why the camera?
because you need to get started. So most likely to start off with some sort of kit or like some hand me down or like a used. So
Okay.
you get whatever camera, whatever it is, it could be really good, quote unquote, really good,
Yeah.
bad, whatever. But as long as you're starting, that's to me that's the most important thing. And then number two, I'm gonna throw a curveball because I think this is just as important as the camera.
Uh-oh.
I would say, are you ready for it? I would
I'm ready.
say it's business cards.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
so I'll
gonna
tell you.
talk business now?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, here's the thing. When I first started, I had like these really crappy ones made out of like paper. I just like printed them out, and I would like cut them and like like not printer paper, but like stock a little fatter.
Yeah.
Cut them out because I did have when I was practicing. People were like, "Oh, can you shoot my family?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Like, here's my number." Like I don't know why. For some reason, I thought it made me look more professional.
Yeah.
Here's my business card. Don't lose it. I know everyone does. This is maybe a little old school, but I know everyone probably like put it in your phone. But I always like handing out the business card because it looked professional. Like I'm not fucking around.
Yeah.
And then and then number three, I'd say number three would be a good overall lens.
Lens.
So whether that's a 50 mil, like a 1.4, or even the 1.8, I've seen people start with a 1.8,
For
like
sure.
$100, $80. And as long as you're just using that and you go down to 1.8, you're golden. Or if you have a little more money, this is me, I'd get like a 24 to 70, maybe the older version.
Dude, 24 to 70s are like the best. Oh my God. That's like my workhorse, dude. That's basically what I use 80% of all my jobs, dude. It's crazy.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That's the third thing because they're not that heavy. I'm not saying like, hey, you should buy a 7200 or like a 300 millimeter just to look legit. Like you should get an overall, like 2470 is good. You can get a used older one for like 400, $500, 600.
Dude, I got a good metaphor and it just popped up in my head, dude. I like it a lot. I don't know why I like it, but I like another hobby that I like is boxing. So
Okay.
before you could start doing your long range game, you got to learn to get close and punch people in the mouth like really fast. That's photography. So that 24 to 70 range, you're like in striking distance, dude. You're not
Yeah.
sniping from far away.
Yeah.
You're pretty close to the action a lot. And that teaches you a lot about photography. So that's why you'll see a lot of people using the 24 to 70 in weddings, in events, because it puts you in the action. So just think of that lens as a boxing lens. Like it's teaching you how to punch people in the face. And what he just talked about, the 70 to 200, the 300, that's more so like the sniping. Now we're doing long games. We're throwing darts at people. We're further. People aren't seeing us as much. So yeah, man. Just wanted to throw that in there.
I agree with that, and 100%. I just want to add on to that. Like with the 2470, I feel like you're in the mix, and
Yeah, you're in the mix.
you're learning, and you're learning how to work around stuff, and just I don't know. You'll learn with 24/7. You'll learn everything. So
You get punched in the face too.
yeah, you get hit too. They'll be like, what are you doing? Get away from me or back up.
Yep.
But you'll learn to deal with that kind of stuff.
Correct.
So those are my top three.
Okay.
If I had to pick something, or like if I told someone that's brand new what to do, that's what I would do.
Okay, hey, I know this is a curveball, dude. You gave me a curveball with the business card thing. Now,
Yes.
say if someone's just starting off in 2021 for their business for photography, you just mentioned that a business card is the most important thing. But if we were to talk now and say, hey, what's the number one thing you need to focus on your business for starting a photography one in 2021? Would you still say business card, or does something trump that? No pun intended.
Oh man. Yeah, for sure. I was just saying, like, if you're starting off, you're probably talking to your family or friends. So it just looks like you're, they'll take you a little more serious. That you're taking it serious. But obviously, in 2021,
The
uh,
tip,
you-
biggest tip,
biggest tip for me was start your website. For
website.
me, start your website. Yeah, just
Okay.
because most people start the website. They'll be like, "This is my name, photography," or "This is my name, video." They're not they don't have business names yet. They're just they're just working solo. So they'd be like, yeah, it's just my name, photography.com. It's very easy. You know what I mean? Like, and then you have your work and you'll progress and you'll learn how to change it out and you'll learn actually how to work on your website by yourself.
Word.
There's a good time for us to plug Wix or Squarespace. We had that.
Squarespace.
So if they're listening, we're down. But no, honestly, that'd be the first thing.
For
If you're
sure.
starting out, if you have the camera ready and you have a lens you're working with, maybe you have like five, no, maybe you have like 10 to 15 images and you're just trying to get some work.
That's
I'd
what's
say,
up.
I'd say buy a website. It's probably what, 80, $100 a year. That's nothing.
Yeah, they're not that bad. I
It's like
like that,
12
dude.
bucks. Yeah. That'd be my tip. I don't know if you have a different one, but if you do,
Oh, dude, I have a left hook, dude. I have a
all right,
crazy one.
what do
So
you
for
got?
mine, it's not a business card. It's not a website. It's
Legit
not your logo. It's not your t-shirts. It's not your gear. It's your
auto.
mouthpiece. Like I always tell people, the best thing that you could do is get your sales game down, dude. Like read a book on sales. Like I would straight up say, learn sales before you even pick up a camera. Because, dude, if I want to shoot a plastic surgeon's office, or if I want to shoot a dentist's office, or even like a restaurant, you
Yeah.
got to know how to communicate with those people. You got to know how to sell them. You got to know how to make them believe in you. And if you don't got that skill set, your ass could have the prettiest website, but if you don't know how to sell, that's it. So like that's what I would say is get decent at sales and get out there. Just go start meeting people and solving problems. That's all sales is. I'm going to solve your problem for free. AKA, I want to shoot and build my portfolio. AKA, I'm going to give you free, pretty photos. Like, learn to speak that language, dude. It's so gangster. And I wish somebody would have taught me that, because I learned the website thing. Like, make a pretty website. And I was waiting for people to come. They never fucking came.
That's true. Well,
Yeah.
now that I think of that, now that you're saying that, I kind of want to say, if you're investing your money, I would take a course in either like sales or marketing, or even
Something,
get a,
yeah,
or even get a job in like sales or marketing.
for
That way you can
sure,
put
dude.
that towards you can put that towards your business.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I wouldn't hesitate to spend $100 or $150 on some sort of course that would definitely show me the ropes. You know what I mean? Like that's a good
Yeah.
investment. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Probably people are probably thinking like, what? I can buy a camera and I can buy a lens or whatever.
Yep.
Well, it's no good if it's just sitting on your desk.
Exactly, dude. You got to learn to use that shit.
Yeah. So that's a good point. That is a good point. So I'd probably do like a course, number one. Obviously, you have the camera gear. Let's just say that you have a camera and a
For
lens,
sure. For sure.
and then it'd be like website because that's the new business.
Yeah, you do need the website. And I do agree with you there. I would say that's my number two is website. Like after you get sales down, obviously I'm assuming you have the camera. Next is build your site and know. And again, this is where sales comes in. You'll know what to write on that bitch. Like you're gonna go, oh, I help create photography solutions for small businesses. Like now you're talking to them.
Right,
Shit like that, dude. Like that really gets in their head where they're like, damn, I like this kid versus, oh, he shoots everything. He shoots moms, he shoots lambs, he shoots kebabs and cars.
right.
How is he going to solve my problem? Versus if I have a portfolio of just dentist shit and I reach out to dentists, you know that dentist is going to hire my ass for sure.
Sure.
So like, yeah, dude, that's cool that we talked about that. I'm glad we went down this path.
I like how you said, if you shot dentist before you'll get dentist. That's another quick tip I want to shoot what you want to shoot.
Exactly.
Obviously, you'll have to take gigs. I'm sure we've all done it. Everyone listening to this, you've taken gigs or you're gonna take gigs that maybe not your favorite, but you're just trying to make some money. Obviously, everyone does it, so that's not a big deal. But like, if you want to shoot sports, then shoot sports. Don't shoot babies. Like, I have known so many photographer friends who like they're like, oh well, I don't want to shoot this, but it pays me. Well, you're eventually gonna have to leap to the thing you want to do, or at least give it a shot. You can always go back to shooting the stuff that makes you money. So that's a quick tip from me.
Yeah.
Um,
I was just gonna be a clown here and talk to our guys. If you're listening, guys, don't fall for the trap of cheeks, butt cheeks. All right. Like, don't just try to go shoot girls and models because you got a camera now. I know it's tempting,
Everyone
but
does that
it's not
shit.
going to pay the bills. It's not going to pay the bills. I promise you, dude. Like, small business owners, unless you're like Sports Illustrated, like a dope ass photographer, most models are going to want to shoot and trade for free. They're not going to pay you. It just, trust me when I say this, find something that's going to give you money first, dude. That's just a plug for all you guys out there. I know there's some of you that are like, I know what I'm gonna shoot. No, you're not. Bitch, go shoot a dog. They'll pay you more money.
I don't think I do that. I did that for a little while, and then people were like, "Oh, you have like the best job." I'm like, dude, it's not even that fun. I don't know about you, but like, it's cool the first couple times, but then I'm like, then they're very, to me, they're very like, make sure you don't shoot me like this, and
They're picky, dude. They're
picky as
picky.
fuck.
Yeah.
Photoshop this spot, my friend.
Oh God, let's talk about that. I'm sorry, we're going off tangent, but dude,
Oh, it's all right. It's all good.
why do the models like that want to get Photoshop when they're already looking good? Like, they have the most psychological problems in their head where they're like, "Can you push my arm?" And I was like, "So it looks like a number 2 pencil? Like, you're already skinny."
No,
It's
we can talk about
crazy.
this all day. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, dude. Like, there's like people will listen to themselves and they don't like how they sound, or
Yep.
they don't like their picture of them. It's like, I think everyone has that inside them, and it takes a lot to get over it. Like, oh, this is just who I am. And then like the social media bullshit. Like, well, no one's really looking like that.
Yeah, dude.
Real.
It
It's
is
not
very
real. It's not
Photoshop.
real through either Photoshop or just like fake surgery bullshit. But that's
Yeah.
like a whole another thing.
Yeah, we that's gonna be another podcast
Yeah, I
episode.
don't
I
even want
know
to
we could
dive
talk
too
like
deep.
hours for that shit, dude.
I don't want to dive too deep into it, but like I think that's why um, you get a lot of that. Like, oh, make sure you Photoshop me, and look at the. I don't want this to show up, and blah blah blah. I got a lot of that, and I
Yeah.
got a lot of like, aren't the photos ready? I'm like, fuck, it's been like 2 days. Like, relax,
It's like 20 minutes. Are they done yet?
yeah,
No. I'm
relax.
eating Chipotle, recharging my batteries. Damn it. I'm
Like, you want
tired.
to look a certain way, you gotta
Yeah.
wait a little bit. Fuck.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's my experience. I don't know about you, but it's generally not my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. And honestly, like, you'll find more passion. I'm not even kidding. I promise you. I don't know why, but there's something about nature and landscape that is so fucking cool to shoot. Like, when you get like sick ass, like when you go hiking and you're on the mountain alone and you got like clouds there and the sunset's creeping through, like, damn, that's way better than ass and titties, dude. Like, you feel more connected with life. That flow of creativity comes like and then they don't ask for Photoshop. It's so dope.
Yeah, I know. I
The
hear that.
mountain's just like sick, dude. It's tight.
I'm a big fan of action stuff, and
The
maybe I
mountain biking. Have you done that? Any photos for that?
no, I've done skateboarding and like longboard skateboard, like downhilling, and I've done baseball and football and basketball and MMA, which is fucking hard to do, but I love that shit.
What camera did you use for the MMA? Was the autofocus any good?
I was using 7D.
Oh, okay. That has a decent autofocusing, right?
Well, the 7D original.
Yeah.
It's all no, it sucks. It's all right. It's not great.
Oh, because I'm thinking 7D Mark II, huh?
I think it's 7D Mark II. 7D, it's a good starting camera, but 7D Mark II, at least when I was shooting that, is where it's at.
Did you shoot manual or were you shooting autofocus?
Both.
Okay.
Just
With
depend,
MMA, it's crazy. It's unpredictable, dude.
just depending. Like sometimes I try to get something autofocus, and sports is like not. It's not daytime. It's dark, and it's like usually the lighting is not that great. So you're like all the way down to 2.8 or like 1.4 or whatever you have, and you're shooting I don't want to go too technical, but you're shooting high shutter speeds to catch the action. But sometimes I'd leave it on autofocus and be tough to catch
Yeah,
because I'd leave it in manual and like just expect them to be at a certain place and get the photo that way. And I'm gonna
yeah.
show you more of that stuff. I mean, we're barely getting into all these subjects, but I definitely want to talk more about that.
Oh, for sure, dude. Well, there's gonna be a lot to talk about. I don't know how many episodes we're gonna get to, but it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah. The easiest one, I'll just go for it right now. A little bit right now. Easiest one, basketball. Super, they're in gyms or like, where there's hardwood floor, the lighting's really good.
Yeah,
You have a designated spot where you're gonna shoot and you can move around and it's super easy to get like the layups. Those are good photos. And if you're into it, something I'm into is shooting with triggers. So you'll mount your other camera and you're shooting both cameras at the same time.
oh
That's
damn.
that's legit for sports.
Oh,
And
that's pretty
then
sick.
um, I'd say the hardest one is boxing.
Oh my god, dude. Anything fighting, I think, man, it's so unpredictable.
Yeah, super dark. They're moving super fast. Like you definitely have to know what you're doing to get a couple of good pictures. And even then, it's fucking hard.
Yeah, that's
Shit.
fast.
And I'd say I haven't tried any other sport. I tried paintball a couple times just for fun.
I was too bad. I was playing, man. I was so wanting to take pictures and videos, but it's so addicting to play that I was like, fuck shooting pictures, dude. I was
No, I
like,
know, but
I'd
that's
rather
I'd
shoot
rather
people.
play. I'd rather play.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I think that's it. Baseball's kind of hard
Mm.
just because you're so far away. So you have to have like long lens camera or long lens lens.
Damn, I might challenge myself, dude. When you're saying all this stuff, I literally did none of that, dude. I think I just did like a flag football thing once, but that's it. Like I didn't really do I only did skating and football. I haven't done basketball. I haven't done none of those. Like I would like to see if I could track a go-kart. That'd be sick. So damn, man. Maybe that would be a challenge that we do on the show or
Yeah,
something. Like
yeah.
that'd be sick.
If anyone listening, they want to see how to do it, or maybe just like a challenge with different lenses, different equipment, we'd be totally down to do that.
Yeah, it'd be my first time, so I'd be along the ride with you guys too. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm totally down for that. I mean, hopefully when some sports starts coming back, I'm not sure when, but I'll definitely like to make some videos on that. That'd be dope.
I heard it's happening after the inauguration, so it's pretty soon.
You think so?
No,
Are you both?
I wish, dude. I was like, that'd
Like
be
for
sick.
real?
I
Fucking
know, man.
excited.
I was like, the inauguration was today.
I know. That's what, like for real, like soon, because he's been changing shit.
I
He's
know,
been
yeah.
doing like what's that shit called? When you do I can't think of the word right now. Whatever. I'll remember like later down at the end of the podcast.
Towards the end, you're gonna be
Towards the
like,
end.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Or he just like signs it off and it's legit. I
That's it.
can't think of the fucking word right now, but
He's gonna veto everything. Just
it's like the opposite of veto.
yeah, probably.
Whatever. I'm gonna think about it later.
We'll say.
Um, so back to the equipment. Supposedly they're making a GH6. I'm not sure if you're into Panasonic.
Damn, no, but I heard those things are beast ass cameras, dude. And
Yeah,
is that the one where you can tune like the shutter speed to exactly what you want? Is that the one?
I've never used it.
Oh man, I'd love to play with that.
So
I
if
would
anyone
love to
there has a Panasonic fan, let me know. You think
Yeah.
they're better than Sony, or you think Sony is better than Panasonic?
That's a good question, man. I would love to see what they say in the comments about that. That would be interesting. That
That's
would
an
be
interesting one
interesting.
to me.
Start a fight down there, please.
I'm a fanboy for Sony. Like it's tempting, man. I'm ready to switch to that side. I don't know about you, but kind of ready to sell the Canon gear.
I think I'm a sellout, dude. Like, cause I basically, I hate saying it, but I was like, F Canon, dude. I just jumped ship to Sony because the tech was better. I don't think I'm gonna be married to a brand. Although on the back of my head, I was like, but Canon, I don't want to do them dirty because that was my first camera.
Yeah,
But then my adult ass was like, dude, it's a business. Like, you got to get the best tech. Why would you keep using a flip phone if there's better smartphones out there? It's just common sense. So that's kind of why I'm leaning. I still have my Canon shit, but
yeah.
I'm leaning way more towards Sony, dude. And I'm gonna look at that GH6 you said, right?
It's a rumor that it's gonna come out. So
Dude, if it does, I will rent that and try it. And if it's better than Sony, buy Sony.
so you think so? The GH6 supposedly has 8K recording, or will have 8K recording. You think that's overkill, or you
Oh,
think,
dude.
or you
For
think
my
that?
for my computer, it'll blow up my computer. Like everything right now, I'm just excited that I went from 1080 to 4K. I cannot jump from 4K to 8K. That's gonna like kill me, dude. It's gonna make my veins pop. Like
You
while
think
I'm editing, my head's just gonna blow up and
you
shit.
think 8K? You think 8K is necessary though? Like,
Nah, not right now. I think that's kind of like what happened. The whole 720 to 1080 to 4K.
yeah,
There was a weird time where 720 was the standard shit, like all TVs, and
6K.
now it moved to 1080,
Yeah,
and we're like, that's the definition. Now we're seeing where everything's almost 4K. So I think 4K is the new 1080, and
yeah,
8K is the new 4K. Where it's like, oh, we
yeah.
don't we don't need to worry about that shit right now. What do you
And
think, man? What do you think?
everyone on TV is gonna be all wrinkly, and you'll see all the makeup and shit. That's what I see.
Mm, it's
That's
gonna
what
be
I
all
see with 4K right now. Uh, I mean, I'm. If it was, I probably wouldn't get it right now, just because I'm not prepared with my computers. My computers
same.
only prepared for 4K. But I think it's the future. It's something worth looking at to get into. I mean, you have to stand out a little bit, offering, oh, I offer 8K. Like, what? Really? Yeah. Whatever it is, whether it's commercial client or just like a family or whatever. I think in the future, maybe not 2021, but we'll definitely start seeing 8K in a couple of years for sure.
That's cool. I like that you said that, man. That standing out. If that's a feature that could help you stand out, by all means. If it's an investment for your business, but if you're just getting started, don't get 8K. Don't do that to yourself.
Don't let them sell you in just because
Yeah,
it's 8K.
sounding like Doc Brown. 80.5 gigawatts. Like,
Yeah,
no, dude.
yeah. Just do 720. Uh,
360. Just stick to 360. You're fine. Don't do
moving back
360.
to Sony, they have something that would really be stoked on. Now, are you a drone flyer? Like, are you into flying drones?
Oh, dude, I'm a rookie cookie when it comes to that. I got the Mavic Air too. It's pretty fun.
Okay, so you'd be into like, okay, so it's called, let me double check with it. The Sony, so I don't mess it up. The Sony Air Peak drone.
Air peak drone.
Yeah.
Air peak drone.
So
Damn. What is this drone's why is it cool?
so it's cool because it'll hold full size cameras, full size Sony cameras, and like it legit looks dope. I would
How
totally.
many blades is it? Is it a four blade drone or more?
It is 4 blades with landing gear. It looks dope, dude. Like I legit want it right now. If
You gotta pop that on the screen and I'm gonna rewatch this part, dude.
Yeah, yeah, I'll totally do that. I'll totally do that. But it looks legit. It hold all the Sony Alpha cameras. So you can kind
Damn, imagine that in the sky. Like that shit looks good on the ground already, dude.
that's why I'm excited for it. Just because I
How
love.
much is it? What's the rumor?
There's no price, but I'm gonna guess fucking 8 grand.
8 grand. Woo!
I'm guessing. I'm guessing. I'm
If
totally.
you had the money, like a surplus of money, you would get it, right? Obviously.
100%. 100%.
Okay, so now let's flip it. Say you're hurting for money, would you get it?
If I'm hurting for money,
Yeah, like if you're like, ah, dude, it's a no.
no way.
Why not?
Because it's overkill for me anyway. If
Got
I'm
it.
not making any money off of drone shooting, then there's no reason to fucking buy this huge drone. It's not even, well, it doesn't look that big. I'm looking at it right now.
But still, ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? If you don't need it, don't buy that shit.
I
I
would
like
buy.
that lesson.
But I have a couple Mavics, and they do the job. I mean, they're not. Oh no, okay. I'm looking at the price. How much do you
What
think
is
the price is?
what is it?
Oh no, this is wrong. No, they don't.
Tell
They
me
don't
it's like 9.99 and shit. I'll go buy that right now. I'll go buy.
If it was a grand, I'd buy it. But
Yeah,
no,
for real. If it was a grand, I'll do it. I'll do it.
but because it's an investment, you should be able to do a couple flights for real estate or a wedding or whatever, and you should get your money back. Hopefully, but
What
I just
about that license too, dude? Like, don't you have to get that now? Like, isn't it getting airspace more regulated and stuff?
it's getting tougher, dude. So in the past I used to work for more companies that didn't care about it as much. There wasn't a thing yet, and they were like, "You have a drone? Like, do you have footage? Yeah, here you go, boom, boom." Like, cool, let's do it. But now, because there's so much liability in flying a drone, like getting your license is a must. I
Yeah.
have one company right now that I fly drone for, and that's it because they don't care as much about the license because I worked for them for a long time.
Yeah.
It's definitely that is if you're going to be a drone operator, definitely get your license. I think
Oh, for sure. It's a hands down now, dude. I think it's a must. It's
you
a
have
must.
to get it. I mean, it sucks just because like a couple people crashing their drones, I think ruined it, but it is what it is, I guess. And I think people are just trying. I think the air, what is it, FAA? They're,
FAA, yeah.
they're trying to get, they're trying to just get some money off of it.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, but
Dude, how gnarly. I think we should do an episode on like I don't know if we'd be able to share screens, but just showing gnarly drone crashes, like accidents, and
yeah,
just talking about it. That'd be crazy, dude.
I mean,
Like,
that's probably a lot.
oh, dude, there probably has to be. I remember seeing one. I don't know how I googled it, but Enrique Iglesias was performing, and that motherfucker just grabs the damn drone and it's all.
Oh, it's hand.
That guy still performs though, dude. He's like, all right,
What are you supposed to do? Just stop?
all right.
Run away?
For fucking gushing, I'm like, oh, maybe, fuck it.
I mean, I felt bad, but he kind of deserved it for fucking trying to grab it. Like,
Dude, the way he grabbed it, he was all cocky, like, take a picture of this motherfucker. Like,
yeah, chopped off his hand, dude. That shit was fucked up.
he thought he was all sexy and shit, looking at that drone, like, ooh, duck face. Slice, slice me.
It's like one of those things. Like, would you grab anything else that isn't yours? Like, dude, you're an idiot. But I got love for Enrique Iglesias. He's my hero. Maybe that's not my hero.
Why is he hero?
Hero.
Why is he
Does it have a song called Hero?
Oh, I could be your hero, baby. Oh shit. Mine's I don't know who sings it, but it's the one. Look at this picture, this photo. What's that guy's? Always make fun of it, dude. It's an old school YouTube meme that everyone goes, "Look at this giraffe!" Like, oh man,
No,
I
I've
need.
never heard of it.
Oh, dude, I need to link it to you, and it'll be a meme thing. It might be an ongoing joke if this podcast catches steam. You're gonna say,
video.
"Look at this drone."
Dude, that'd be sick. A little clip of memes like that.
Yeah, little meme clips.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Yeah. Look at this hero, baby.
So another camera, dude. I know you're gonna be a fan of it. You could probably talk about this more. Supposedly, and let me know if this is right because it felt like it was off. There's a Sony A7 IV. Is that true?
A7 IV or
yeah,
A? Because we're on A7 III right now.
And I know. So I was like, are they skipping?
Oh, they're just fucking joke. If they do me dirty like that, that's dirty. I want the 4. That's history. We're skipping history.
I was like, what? They said 5, but there's no 4.
That's weird. Man. That's
weird. I'd be down for that one.
But didn't like Samsung do that shit? Like I think we're on Galaxy S20 because we're in 2020. Like I had a 10 plus and it's on 20 now, dude.
Is it?
They straight up skipped 16, 17, 18, 19. Like
maybe
they just
like,
went.
Maybe it's like skipping, like you can't say 13 if you're like, what is it? If you're a Crip or Blood?
Something like that, dude. I don't want to get shot on this. I don't want to get shot on this cast.
If you're a 20, you have to skip 4.
Damn, dude.
Anyway, the small specs I'm seeing here is that it'll shoot 6K. Now, what do you think about that? 6K.
But isn't the A7 III shooting 6K but downsampling to 4K right now? Isn't that what it's doing? So it's sharper?
I think this is right out of the camera, though.
So is it going 8K downscaling to 6K or is it 6K to 6K?
I think it's 6K to 6K, but it doesn't say in this article.
Mm.
Would you get a camera at 6K to 6K?
Well, again,
or is that overkill? You don't need it.
That's what I was gonna say. It always goes to who you're serving, and my clients, like honestly, they're still happy with 1080, and it's sad. Like I want to be shooting more 4K, but they're like, oh, 1080 is fine. We're just gonna upload it on a Facebook ad, and Facebook sucks. They don't allow 4K. Damn you, Facebook.
Yeah,
but yeah, so I honestly think I could stick with the A7 III for a minute, dude. I'm just gonna coast on that. If A7 IV is, not too, or now I'm hearing 5. Then
I mean, that's news to me. I just had to mention it. I was like, is that true?
Yeah,
You're
it
more,
is.
you're into the Sony thing, so I'm just like, is there a four? I didn't think they're made a four yet.
No, they haven't yet because I have the threes. Like that's the later ones. Unless I'm like completely off because I'm just getting into Sony. Remember that. But it is, dude, Sony's the shit. So far from what I've used, man, the videos that I've created, much more better. Much more better. Like the detail, the color grading doesn't fall apart. It's just better, dude. The Canon was muddy after ISO 1600. Game over after that shit, dude. And it's just so good, man. I have nothing but good things to say about it so far.
Do you think do you think getting a Sony, or is it A7 III in 2021 is worth the investment? Or which one
Oh
are you
hell yeah, dude! I was actually gonna make a video on that because I know some people did it for Sony A7 III. Is it worth it in 2020? I want to try to make one that says, "Is it still worth it in 2021?" And it's kind of like those videos you see of the Canon 6D. You remember that camera, right?
Yeah, I remember.
That's a full frame Canon. Like you could get one for like 300 bucks, 400 bucks. Is that still a good camera to get? Yes, if you're just starting off, like bitch, go get a full frame and go shoot. That's the same thing I feel with the Sony A7 III.
Okay.
Even if they shoot a 4 or 5, 6, it's still good. You got 4K in that bitch. The photos look, the auto focusing is amazing. Like the photos look crispy. It's customizable. That's like to me my new 6D, dude. Like I'm gonna keep recommending that to people just getting started in the game for years to come, dude, for sure. But we'll see. I might change opinions when that 5 comes out. I might be like, hey, just go to the 5, motherfucker.
Hope it's not a typo, but I was just surprised. Like, what?
Yeah,
Sony
I'm
A7
surprised, dude.
what?
I have to look into that. I
Yeah.
have to look into that.
So last question. What would be your number one like run and gun camera if you could just pick anything?
Run
Anything.
and gun?
Yeah.
What's that one that Sony just dropped? The FX something?
You have to tell me about that one. I don't know.
It's like a director. It's like a cinema camera. It's like a FX7, FX9. I can't remember it. I'm like I said, I'm just getting into Sony, but dude, it's compact cinema like that. It's sick, dude. That with just a top handle grip, you can make artwork with that, dude. The 120 4K on that is super crispy. That I would take on a running gun. I don't know why. I just want something that looks super sick, super heavy. I'm always a fan of taking hard shit out, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, is that I'm not afraid to take like gear out, dude. I don't care if it's heavy. I'll lug that bitch out. Like I don't
Yeah.
just rely on my smartphone. So hey, if you could say I could pick, I'll take that bitch out, dude. I'll roll with that. It'll be like a fatty camera, but I'm gonna get some dope ass stuff. I'll run and gun with that all day. How about you, man?
I'm the opposite, dude.
I want a teeny one.
I carry shit, dude. I fucking carried a bunch of stuff in the past. It just depends on what the job is. You know, like if they're like, well, we're only paying this much. Like, all right, well, I'll bring these cameras. Or like, oh, you want some bigger shit? All right, well, we can
So
rent
paint a
it.
scenario. Let's do a cool one for the listeners. Like just give us a scenario so we could pick the right camera, just in case. So maybe it helps someone out.
Well, I mean, like, there's different price points. So, like, you know, maybe you're doing a wedding, or like with COVID right now, like, oh, we're just doing our backyard. Like, what do you need?
So are we talking backyard COVID weddings? Like what we
Yeah,
would
I mean, this is just a starting point for right now.
Okay, cool.
And they're like, oh, well, we just need this. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, I'll just bring like a DSLR, like 5D Mark III, classic workhorse, old as shit, still decent for what they need. You know, 1080. They just need to show their friends and family.
We doing photo and video or just video?
This is just video. I mean,
Okay, just video.
I'll mention photo too. You could still use it for photos.
Okay,
You know, with some decent glass behind it, you're still good.
for
You can even
sure.
go a worse camera. You know, just depending on how much you want to sell your services for. That's up
Correct.
to you. And then maybe you have like a commercial shoot. You can still use the 5D Mark III.
Yeah, you can.
Like, I've done a couple like that. They're like, yeah, we just need this 1080 done by this time. Like, cool. This is what I'm working with. Boom.
Yeah. It's a
You know,
good camera, man. It's a really good camera.
it's still a
That's it.
good camera. You know, it's not the best, definitely not the best, but for basic stuff where people are paying you for their video needs, it's still a workhorse camera. I definitely would take that with me. And
Yeah.
then then you go to higher stuff like, all right, well, I have these camcorders and they do this, and maybe you need some slow mo, or then you start moving up, and then
Yeah.
you go even higher to the highest price point. That's where you're like renting gear. You're not even like that's all in their budget. Whoever's paying you,
For sure.
like, all right, well, this rental costs this much because I don't own it. I'm not trying to buy. And me personally, maybe your goal is to buy one of these cameras. Maybe you want a $10,000 camera. I don't. I'd rather rent it just because I don't use it that. I would never use it that much.
Yeah.
Maybe like once a year, if that. Because I have other camcorders that do get the job done. So that's what I would say. Like, it's just kind of like, start off with what you're doing. If you want basic stuff, then get like a 6D or like, I don't know what, 70D or 5D Mark 2 or 3. I'd recommend the 3 because the 2 is dog shit compared to the 3 or 4. Like 5D Mark 4. That thing's legit still. It's a
Yeah.
little new. It's a little older, but I do that or get into some Sony. I have a Sony A6300. That thing's old and it's tiny, but it packs a punch, dude. For like stuff that's going on now, like backyard weddings or small shoots or just depending what you're getting into. I'm not sure if you differ with that, but what do you think?
For me, I would just say what I'm using right now is so good. Like I would highly recommend it to someone. Is that A7 III? It's great for photo and video. Like it's that workhorse. Pair that with the 2470, you're good. Like and that on a gimbal is still light, dude. I think you saw my setup
Yeah, I
with
did.
the Ronin SC and that. It's not that bad versus me shooting on a 60 Mark II. That was my old school one with
Yeah,
the old school Ronin S. Dude, my arms would just fall apart, dude. It's crazy. So I'm into that mirrorless life, dude. It's not good self-defense weapon like a 60 Mark IV, but hey, I was like, that thing's a clunker, man. You get in a fight with that, you'll win.
but like I agree with that. You throw a 5D at someone's head, that thing's
It's gonna knock him out, dude. It's gonna knock him out.
I'm definitely want to try that Sony A7 III. I think
Oh, dude, you'll like it.
I've
You'll
used
like
it like 2 or 3 times,
it. Yeah.
and I like it. It's just pull the
Wait till
trigger.
you rent it and you could play with it the whole day. You're gonna like fall in love, dude. It's crazy.
I can't. We should make a video on it. I don't know if you guys want a video on it, but I think I'm down to make one for the Sony A7 III. I think that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be cool. And we'll title it "How I Fell in Love with the A7 III."
Uh,
How I fell in love with the A7.
Watch, put that down. I bet you that's what the video is gonna be. 'Cause
Probably gonna be titled that.
I'm stoked on that. Yeah. Other than that, man, I'm digging. I'm digging. Continuing doing this podcast. If you're listening, thank you, and we appreciate it. Do you have anything else that we should end this podcast with?
Oh, heck yeah, dude. Let us know what you want to hear. And, dude, please do not hesitate on telling us if you would like us to dumb it down even more. Like, if you guys want us to talk even more basic, I know there's a lot of podcasts out there that do complex things, they scientific shit and whatnot. I want this one to be more chill, more down to earth, and something that really people that are just getting started could sink their teeth into. So please voice your opinions. And if you want simple things or want us to touch on one thing, we'd be down to do it. I know you would, right?
Yeah, I'm totally down. Like if it's like what kind of SD card to pick or
Hell yeah.
that's
I'd
a
be
good
down.
first camera, like we're totally down to talk about that. So just
Or
let us
how to
know.
buy on Craigslist safely. Like shit. That
Yeah,
would be
or buy
tight.
on eBay safely, just because
That too.
there's dog shit on there.
For reals.
Getting rid of their crap.
I'll
But
take it.
yeah, let us know. We're definitely down to throw down some tips and catch us next week. Same time, same place, I think. Right?
Woo! Oh, dude, always on Wednesdays when my kids, I knock them out, dude. Just go to sleep.
Another podcast bites the dust. So with that, I think we're out.
All right, we're outies.
Peace.
Latest.